Hey guys, it's me. I know it's been a couple of weeks. I'm sorry. I have been really focused on my coaching stuff, so my brain has just been elsewhere. However, I am so happy that you're here. I am, obviously I can't see your faces, but I'm just happy that you're here. This is my new Zen Den too. I got this completed in the last couple of weeks. As you can see, I've got some of my artwork, and then I found a really cool Monet print at Home Goods. Love Home Goods. In this cute little Buddha statue. So this is my Zen Den where I take my clients for my energy work, and then the last couple weeks I've really been focusing on my coaching packages and getting my June cohort together. So I have been just, lots of stuff has been happening. However, I'm very happy to be back and to chat with you guys. Today I wanted to talk about art therapy because if you know me, I am very into mental health awareness. I am very into working through anxiety, OCD, depression, panic, ADHD, like all of that stuff. I'm very into figuring out why on earth our brain does that and what helps it, which is why I do coaching. But art is my outlet. It always has been since I was a little girl.
Welcome. Please like and subscribe for more art content just like this.
I had my first panic attack when I was 7 years old, and I have always been an artsy kid. Even before that, I really did like all of the art things, right, that my parents could facilitate for me. I had my second panic attack when I was 15 years old, and that turned into daily panic attacks for quite some time. So I found a therapist when I was about, I want to say 18. I think, yeah, I was about 18 years old when I found a therapist who specialized in art therapy. I didn't know that was a thing until I found her, and she really helped me process stuff through art. And so I have always had an interest in it since then, and it's always been something that I have utilized as therapy for myself too, whether I've been with a therapist or not, because I have literally never found another art therapist. So that being said, I pull that into what I do for myself. This is why I'm so into art, because it is my space where I find peace. No matter what I'm creating, no matter what I'm doing, I literally put my headphones in or I blast some really loud music and I just go for it on the canvas. And that is where I am able to release. That's where I'm able to feel. That's where I'm able to vibe. That's where I'm able to get into my right brain and just do whatever. And then it turns out into stuff like this, which I really like. So, and people, my clients really like because they buy it, right? So, anyways, that's why I absolutely love it. I want to talk to you guys about why art is so important to our mental health. So, number one, art is incredibly important to our mental health because it takes us out of our left brain and it puts us into our right brain. Your left brain is all analytical numbers, black and white. Your right brain is all willy-nilly, colorful, swirly, bright, fun, beautiful, brings us joy, right? This is the joy center of our brain. This is the analytical center of our brain. And a lot of people get really stuck over here, right? And then this kind of like shuts down or gets really quiet. When that happens, when there's an imbalance, because you need a balance between both of them, right? So when that happens and you've got all this analytical junk over here that is just, you're just on autopilot, just doing the things, right? Then your nervous system gets all wonky and it's not centralized. It's not in a place of neutrality. It's not in a place where you feel like you can exist at ease, essentially. The same to be said for if you are too much in your right brain and you don't have that left brain, there's a lot of chaos that can happen over here and like psychosis and stuff that can happen over here, okay? So that's why you have to have the balance between the two. Otherwise, you've got either absolutely no like imagination whatsoever or all of the imagination, and they're both dangerous. So we want to get in the center, and that's what art therapy is created for. So like this painting here, for instance, when I was painting this painting, I'll take it off the wall, I will show you. When I was painting this painting, I painted this, what did I call this one? Connection. I never remember the names of them because I've done so many of them. So when I was painting this, I was having a really hard time. My uncle had passed away from alcoholism, and it was really hard for our family to deal with, honestly. And because I'm a psychic and because I have mediumship abilities, I just don't usually tune into them. Because I have that kind of brain, it was a little bit easier on me than it was for the rest of the family because I could see different things that they could not see and recognize different stuff. That's a whole other story. Because I could do all of that, it was a little bit easier, but it was still difficult. And so I remember just kind of pulling this out of my head and being like, okay, I want something with a really deep, rich background. And then I just feel like you're never completely disconnected. Even if somebody passes on, they're never completely gone from your life. Their energy will always linger in your life in some way, shape, or form. So that's why I created this, because it's like from the earth and from the heavens, we are never truly gone, or like never truly disconnected. And this is all like gold leaf. So that's why I created this one. And that night when I was painting it, I literally cried for like quite some time while I was painting it. And it was an incredible, incredible, incredible emotional release. And it was what I needed. And it was what I needed to release in the moment. And then I got to release it and make something super freaking cool with it, with that emotion. So that is why that's why I love art. I love art therapy for that reason. And I've researched it very heavily. I'm not going to go to school so that I can become a therapist. I've done art therapy courses and been certified in that. However, it's different than specific therapy and going and like, actually researching all of the psychology and stuff that goes into becoming a classic talk therapist. So mine is all like real world experience plus just learning the science behind it in several courses, throughout my lifetime since I was 18. But that's why it's so valuable, because you actually get the things out. And the more that you get out, the more that you're able to actually release instead of shoving it down and feeling like crap about it, right? And then the more you're able to like kind of even out your left and right brain a little bit. Because once you get into your right brain, like when you're painting, if you're like all right brain, honestly, it's totally fine. Especially in this background, I just grabbed a couple colors and I was like, whatever, I don't know. And I like threw them on there. But I threw them on there with emotion, and I threw them on there while I was crying, and I threw them on there with just like, oh, I think this will look cool, bam, and did it. And that's how you create art. Whether you're good or bad at doing it, all you're doing is expressing yourself on a canvas. And when you do that, you get the emotional releases. So if you haven't looked into art therapy, and if you are somebody who finds emotional release within art, whatever modality it is, whether it's woodworking, painting, whether it is sculpting, whether you're making jewelry, like whatever you're doing, if you're finding peace in that and you know that you've got some stuff to work through, art therapy might be a good choice. If you are a creative person and you just enjoy making art, do what you can to ground it a little bit. Like step into it. When you're gonna go make a piece, take a deep breath and think, okay, what do I want my intention to be behind this piece? And when you make your piece with intention, it will 100% come out better, more professional, more skilled than when you just go, I don't know. But like, even with this one, even though I was throwing stuff on the background, I still had kind of an idea of what I wanted to do the entire time. I was like, okay, I want the hands and I want it to be a dark background and I like this color and this color. There was still intention behind it. So the more intention you have in your paintings, the more you end up with things like this that people want to buy. So if you want to be a professional artist, you have to plug into yourself and you have to connect to that right side of your brain while you're still kind of in the left side of the brain sometimes. And you have to kind of even those out a little bit or know when to balance the two a little bit so that you can create cool stuff like this. Or this is a Monet, it's a Monet print. Like even this, it's such a calming, beautiful presence, right? Every single piece of art that you see has an emotion tied to it. And sometimes it's the emotion of the artist, and most of the time, when you are the person who's buying artwork, if you go into a gallery, it emotes something in you, it invokes something in you. And it might be a different emotion than the artist had when they were painting it, or it might be a different goal than the artist had when they were painting it, but that's okay. The whole point of art is to invoke emotion. That is all it is. It's not to be good, it's not to be bad, it's not to invoke any specific emotion. It is just a source of release. So that's all you have to do to be an artist, is know that you want to release things creatively, and you can do it. I've done it. I'm here. I'm doing it. That's mine. I did that. You can do it. It's super powerful. And like I said, if you are if you have some stuff that you think is stuck, that you want some help with, look for an art therapist in your area because they are covered by insurance for the most part, or look for somebody that's like certified in art therapy, like I am. Like, I'm certified in art therapy. I don't practice it as much because I don't have a lot of clients that want to do that, you know, but I'm still certified in it and I understand the science behind it, and it really helps me. If anything else, it helps me to create very intentional pieces of art. So yeah, that's my spiel on art therapy. I just wanted to do a quick one because I wanted to come on here and say hey again, and I'm sorry for being gone the last couple weeks. It's just been bonkers, and I have been in coaching mode, and so that's also why you guys are seeing me here today, like in teaching mode, and like going straight for the jugular on this stuff and emotions, because it is important stuff. It's very valuable. So I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna play with the kids in the sprinkler, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna see you later. Bye.